Hello everyone, I have the Volvo EX30 here and the Volkswagen Id.3. We just did a comparison in consumption and now I want to compare the cars a bit so you can see. Look at the space, software and stuff like this, the trunk, all of this. EX30 trunk is full. I have a second compartment that's not very... Oh, it is deep. No, there's space. There's a lot of space in here, but it's not very long in this direction. And Id.3. Ooh! We have the second floor, as we're used to, and we have another tiny compartment under here, but it's longer. I wouldn't say wider and not deeper. Id.3 manual trunk opening, and in the EX30 it's electric. Yay! Also important, the EX30 has a frunk. Id.3 doesn't have such a thing. No space in the front. Oh my god. In the EX30 I have this seat, my position. I'm 180 centimeters tall, 6 feet, and I'm digging in this front seat big time. This is soft here, so this is okay. But other than that, headroom is okay. And I have a armrest here, an armrest here in the middle, and I have my USB-Cs and everything. But space-wise, I wouldn't want to go far. That's not the best thing. In the Id.3, what I noticed right away, yes, I have more legroom here, so I'm not touching the front seat, and I can put my feet underneath, but I'm sitting way straight up, more straight up. That's not the most amazing thing. So it was more comfortable there when it comes to the backrest, but the legroom is nice. Headroom, it's the same, I would say, and armrests and everything. Yeah, but to be honest, just with the back, I preferred the seat there. Just this leg thing wasn't nice to dig in like this. But now we get to important stuff. In the Id.3 we have a cockpit, we have a head-up display. If you want that, you can have in the new cars a bigger screen, and you can have battery preheating. In this old sadly you can't have that, but new versions will have that. But we will look at the EX30, that software, what you can do is just way better. In here you cannot have Spotify, you cannot have Google Maps, only via Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. But navigation itself, it's okay, it's all fine. It's just, what do you prefer? Do you prefer a cockpit and a head-up display, or is it more important to you that you have Android Automotive, which is amazing, I have to say. Very fast startup and stuff like that. In the EX30, no head-up display, no cockpit. Yes, it's a free view. There's nothing there, but you have to look here. And we have a bigger screen, we have Google Maps, we have Spotify, we have other apps that you can download via the Google Play Store. It works really well, it works really fast. You cannot see your power that you're charging with. You can do that in the Id.3. That's a bit sad, but the software overall is really great. But now I want to talk about something that's just important. These are cars, it's all about driving. When it comes to suspension, they're pretty much the same. I would say the Id.3 is a tiny bit better when it comes to suspension power. EX30 is better. We have 200 kilowatt instead of 150 kilowatt. Faster to 100 kilometers an hour. This can drive 180 kilometers an hour. This just 160. Regen, this is weird. When I drove the twin motor of this car, regen was okay, was strong, and could be adjusted very well. In this car, the single motor, it's weird. Around the point where you need a bit of regen or nothing, it jerks around. It's not a nice feeling, and I had the exact same thing in the Smart #1, I remember that. So regen is stronger, but it doesn't feel very nice, so I prefer this here in the Id.3. Steering, we have very soft steering in the EX30, but when you put it into the strongest setting, it's okay. In the Id.3, it's amazing. And now the important part. Cruise control, they both hold the speed fine and the distance is okay. In the Id.3 you can set the distance on the steering wheel. In the EX30 you have to go into the settings. The distance is held okay, but in the EX30 it's a bit of a jerky movement when the car in front of you is slowing down or accelerating a bit. Just if it's just a bit, you know, this weird feeling. And when you accelerate yourself and then let go, this is not nice. And then self-steering in the EX30, self-steering can only be used to 130 kilometers an hour. In the Id.3 as fast as you can go, so 160. And overall the self-steering in the Id.3 feels better, travel assist, than in the Volvo, especially when there are no lines. Where the EX30 tries to find a line and steers in weird ways, the Id.3 just goes on, or in the worst case it just turns travel assist off and gives you a warning. But very, very nice. In the Volvo EX30 you can have a smaller battery as well, a 49 kilowatt hours usable, or this 69 kilowatt hour usable. The 49 is a LFP battery. And in the Id.3 there are a lot of different battery sizes because Volkswagen is right now in transition from one version to another one. You can have a 52 kilowatt hour battery usable, that's the Pure. The Pro has 59 kilowatt hours now. The car that we have tested it was 58 kilowatt, was the old version. You can have a 77 kilowatt hour battery, it's the Pro S, but the GTX and the GTX Performance of the Id.3 has a 79 kilowatt hour battery. Power-wise, you can have the EX30 also with the twin motor, all-wheel drive, 315 kilowatt, that's 428 horsepower, 3.6 seconds from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. The Id.3 you can have with 125 kilowatt on the Pure, 150 kilowatt like the car that we have tested it against, 170 for the Pro S, and 210, so the ID.7 motor in the GTX, or the highest is the GTX Performance with 240 kilowatt, but all rear-wheel drive, no all-wheel drive version available. Another very important thing, if you want to tow something, then only the EX30 can tow, and it can tow 1600 kilograms, where the Id.3 cannot tow anything. You can have a tow hook where you can just put a bike rack on there and have two e-bikes on there. But towing, there is a third-party thing where you can tow something, but it's not recommended by Volkswagen. As you have seen in the test, the EX30 charges better DC than the Id.3 with the middle battery. The big battery of the Id.3 charges better than the EX30. It has a higher peak, and then so it's a similar curve, but it's a higher power. So it goes up to 180 kilowatt and then goes down the same way almost as the EX30, but it's also a bigger battery. AC charging is something interesting. The EX30 you can have a 22 kilowatt charger on board. On the Id.3 it's only 11 kilowatt, and if you take the small battery it's even 7 kilowatt. Let's talk price. The EX30 starts in Germany at around 40,000 euros, Id.3 at 37,000 euros. For the Pure, it's a bigger battery than you get in the EX30. If you want the big battery in the Volvo, you have to pay 5,200 euros more. And if you want all-wheel drive, that's another 3,000 euros more. If you configure your car with the biggest thing and the most power and everything, you can get up to around 58,000 euros. In the Id.3 GTX, when you put everything in there, it's a similar price, also around 58,000 euros. If you just want the big battery, that starts with 48,000 euros in Germany, where in the EX30, which is a smaller battery, it starts at around 45,000 euros. If you need an overview of your monthly cost for EV, if you want to see all of your trips, your average consumption, your charging session, your AC to DC ratio, then Tronity is exactly what you need. With the app or in the browser you can see all of those things, and you can also have a 100% tax compliant driver's logbook. My viewers get 25% off if they use the link in the description below. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below, and here on YouTube there's channel membership. And if you want to see what's happening behind the scenes, check out my third channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.